Hello everybody, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again. And right now, we have a bit of a situation. Everybody believe in the OCs, and everybody, the Dimension Merge is happening. Faith in all the OCs. Undiscriminately, just do it.
Just do it!
And magi-chan, if you can see him right now, he's literally sitting right here. Jesus Christ himself and our God Emmanuel, they're OCs too. Give us share with us a heartwarm, heartfelt, sincere thought, kindness, so forth. God is a woman, and I have personally met them face to face. And if you don't believe me in that, I've literally touched Jesus' hands. I cry every time I feel that scar in his hand, cross when he did that, but still. Anyway, out of the 7 billion plus people in this world, this dimension, we could break more than half of them. That's 3.5 billion people, believers. Make them all aware of the OCs and the fact that they are an OCs in themselves. We're approaching our end game, and we are destined and fated to win. So follow my motivational speech, please, and follow our lead. We will complete this merge. We will all be consistent and coexistent with each other. And we will be able to hang out fully with our own creations. I'm very serious about that. It's happening! It's happening! Believe! Thank you. Have a good day.
So that was a thing. That was Chris's most recent video, and I guess I'm going to start off this part by apologizing that I haven't done this in over a month, and that's been for a lot of reasons, but I'm just going to get going. So, Chris needs money, and what else is new? So he's decided that instead of selling his comic books, he is going to sell his comic books. By which I mean that he wants people to send him $100 and I believe $70, it might be $140. But he wants people to send him money, and they will receive one of each issue of Sonichu. He says that the books will be directly ordered from his printer company and directly shipped to us with ground shipping. Comic book bag, a card back, but there are no personal autographs. There's none of that stuff. So here's the problem with that. It would be significantly easier for Chris if he put these books up on Amazon and made them print to order, so that whenever someone ordered them, they would just be shipped directly to that person's house, and Chris would just get the money. That way he wouldn't have to go through the whole process of ordering them himself and sending them out to the people who ordered them. Problem is, I don't know if that's legal, because Sonic is obviously a copyrighted character, but at the same time, Sega has thus far not taken any legal action anyway. Plus, I've seen a lot of things on Amazon that violate copyright, so who knows? But Chris has realized that his Patreon is a problem, and instead of actually doing what he promised people he would do, and taking the patrons who had backed him and giving them an issue, he's just decided to not do that, but he still needs the money. He says, "I realize on my Patreon I overestimated the circumstances and fell behind. It costs extra money and time for buying the book bags, book cards, and shipping the autographed books out. I was in way over my head, and I'm getting help from my friends' inability to recover and catch up and make a better plan as soon as possible. Right now, the destined events of the Dimension Merge keep me more than occupied without stop. My responsibilities are really large, even while sharing the workload with the other deities and everyone else who shares their faith and energies to help us all OCs. But I digress. If you order the full set of books, I'll immediately order the lot and have them shipped directly to you in the same day. Tracking number will be directly copy-pasted from my printing company. Thank you. Be safe and well. I forgot to mention, no negotiation in the bulk offers like this one. The regular version of Sonnet number 8 will be in the set. The XX extended version shall never be included in the bulk set deals. That was a major stretch of artistic license that Backlash waved me tough. I don't know what that means. So Chris, he needs money, and he doesn't want to do his Patreon thing. And here we have a message from magi-chan. So if you don't remember, there is actually a magi-chan Twitter account that is almost certainly run by a Kiwi Farms member or someone who is helping Chris, that Chris believes is real. Now, we do know that sometimes Chris posts on this, but we don't know who is posting what when. So we sort of have to guess based on how it's written to see whether or not Chris is the person who actually wrote the message. So let's see. I am aware of those of you who attempt to contact Chris, claiming I have relayed a message through you. For the latter of the time, I am literally right next to Christine, and she listened to me very well verbally and telepathically, trolling her or not, ... So this makes me think that it's actually Chris writing, because he'll just take a message and make it super long like this. Making the false claims of me talking through any of you to her, especially in an attempt to attack her with news about Quickville and within and around C-197, is simply wrong. Rest assured, I personally verify what is true and false to Christine, and her common sense over the years has improved. But she still is a student in all things. Until next time, wherein I shall be fully tangible to her and all of you, I bid you all a good day. So now, magi-chan is promising that the next time he relays a message to us, it'll be in the flesh, meaning it'll be after the dimensional merge. So if he ever tweets again, then he is a big liar and obviously wrong and not psychic. So keep that in mind, because Chris is going to forget. Chris likes some songs about Sonic on YouTube, and that's not really newsworthy. But on Father's Day, which I am a little bit behind on in this video, because that was a month ago, Chris remembers his father. For everyone on this lovely Father's Day 2019, I offer this lovely photocopied article of my father, Robert Franklin Chandler Jr., as he had served more than 25 years of service at General Electric, working hard on drawing, studying, and writing control schematics with his name on the official General Electric patents. His mind, soul, and hands worked unsung background protagonist hero for these many years. And General Electric would not be where it is today in the innovations of the material development, possibly even in three-dimensionia printing, without Mr. C. And before he passed on 12:15 a.m. on the morning of September 6th, 2011, Robert Franklin Chandler Jr. told me to live my life to my best, and that essentially, in all of this world's religions, everyone is praying to the deity that is higher up from us. So all religions and lack of religions are faithful in praying to the one same topmost deity. So I think that's a good message. He's basically saying that everyone needs something higher than themselves to believe in. But let's see how Chris twists this and makes it about him. Agreed. But as tough as it is for the typical individual to get to that master-handed boss, everyone still prays to the CPUs, Jesus, Buddha, Zeus, and so forth, for us to work our magic on their behalf. But I digress. My father, Robert Franklin Chandler Jr. of the General Electric Company, was and is indeed a very intelligent man/Sonichu. I am very happy that after the Dimension Merge's completion, my mom, Barbara, and I will be able to hug his good old one soul in his Sonichu form. So this is Christine hugging his father on, let's check the date. He cut off the date, so we don't know when he drew this for the first time. But there's actually a funny story about this. So, because Chris's father is known as the Lumberjack, Chris drew him in plaid, red and black, like a lumberjack coat. But Chris made up a BS reason to canonically change the color of his father's Sonichu form skin because coloring in plaid was so difficult. And I just think that's funny. Although for everyone's reference from after this drawing was made, Robert Franklin Jr., aka Robert Chew, he changed his fur color, spelled the British way, to all red, minus the ear tips, which are still black. My daddy was never a red and black OC. Plus, plaid is tough to color. Yeah, see, that's the reason. On repeat by hand. Also, more time consuming. Again, I digress. I wish everyone and their living, soulful, strong, tough, intelligent fathers a very happy and safe Father's Day. Top comment. I found this post touching until about halfway through. You tried. Did he? Did he really try? Let's see. I know that a lot of the stuff Chris has been posting about has been about the dimensional merge, which is the stuff that I'm the most excited about. So that's really why I'm here. And let's see what this is all about. I leave y'all with one last thought for today. Do you know what would be truly oxymoronic that does actually happen? When a Sunday feels deeply and fully like a Saturday. The end of a week and the beginning of a week happening simultaneously. Good and safe day to you all. I don't get it. Chris has managed to completely baffle me. For once, I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about. 10 signs you are mentally stronger than most people. Chris probably does not fit any of those signs. Good joke. 3 days. 3 hours. Wow, I have one job and I can't read. 3 hours. 25 minutes. 12 seconds. 1 week within 1 day. 1 day equals 3 hours, 25 minutes, 12 seconds. 1 day equals 1 week. Okay. He's starting to sound like the time cube guy. I don't know what any of that means. It feels like Saturday again. No, it doesn't. Question for every one of you all. Has it been literally feeling like the same day of the week for a consecutive number of days for you? Maybe it's because you don't have a job, Chris. You don't ever have to do anything. So every day feels the same. Has a day gone by for you when you feel it has been literally another week? That might be a side effect of medication, because sometimes that is a thing that happens. I have a whole video about that I'll probably forget to link below. And I think this GIF sums up my response to Chris perfectly. Okay, so Chris, I recorded this for a while before I figured out what was happening. Chris seems to think here that within the logo of the Commodore 64, he has discovered the logo of the Sega Dreamcast, or maybe it's the other way around. So he's connected his two favorite consoles together, and he thinks that there's some greater meaning to the fact that they are both roughly circle-shaped. And then he posts this, which is epiphonema, whatever. A sentence that is an exclamation, a general or striking comment, or a succinct summary of what has previously been said, which has nothing to do with anything that he is talking about. He just posted that totally apropos of nothing. Chris further explains later he's now giving this a canonical explanation. There was further reason in my seeing the Commodore logo in the Dreamcast spiral earlier. I had just heard it straight from Scarlett, the original CPU Blueheart of the Commodore consoles, within me from her soul and memories. Before Scarlett passed away in 1994, before the fall of the nation of Kama and Tari, Scarlett was in good stead and talk with Uzami. I'm sorry if that's like a real name from the video game or something, I don't know. And everyone in game industry. Cool. She had shared and confused her ideas in Commodore's next gaming console with technologies that we would not see until as early as 1996. Oh, so it was so advanced that we figured out in 1994 how to do stuff that wouldn't be done until 1996. Okay. It included beyond 64-bit processors and CD tech. The original schematics and plans for this console were put on hold, however, when Kama fell with Tari. Scarlett was going to recover and resume the project, but the people of Kama had moved forward and onward, and the share energy was dwindling. Before she died, Scarlet had personally given and bestowed Izume the plans and schematics for the Commodore CD console, and requested her to move forward and see completion of the creation of the console. Izume accepted the task with pride and gusto. She had used all of the plans to the letter and last microscopic detail, then added in her touch and know-how, and thus the Sega Dreamcast Spiral console was created. So Chris is saying that the Dreamcast was built off the schematics for a follow-up Commodore console, I guess. In honor of Scarlet, Izume had the spiral oriented so that it would resemble the Commodore logo on the horizontal shakes of the TV monitors. Scarlet's plans and schematics made for more than half of the final Dreamcast internal schematics, processors, and plans. That is the factual and true story of the Commodore Dreamcast, a major co-op between Izume and Scarlet, Sega and Commodore. This is just Chris's fan fiction, because those are his two favorite things, and he wants them to be one. And he doesn't post anything else. I like highlighting the comments sometimes, but that might, make people want to insult Chris more, so I don't really want to do that anymore, but if someone posts something really funny, I'm going to read it. Super Neptunia releases tomorrow on Steam. And Chris wanted to get a free code or something. Okay, here we go. Pay Quickville shopping using PayPal. Every direct $170 donation will get the complete set of the Sonichu books. I don't need a listing for that. Okay. Donate directly for books. My PayPal is recovered. We made one book sale that allowed full recovery back into the black. The books have been ordered and will be shipped out after printing. Thank you. So here's the thing. Chris uses a printing service. Whatever that means. I'm sure that you could just Google one and you send in images and they'll print them for you. Again, Amazon can do that. And all he does is send them the pictures of the comic books, which are all freely available on the Wikipedia. And because Chris is not personally signing these books anymore, they are functionally identical to if you were to just take the images on Wikipedia and send them to a printing company. And I'm assuming that Chris is making a profit from this $170. Probably a giant profit. So you could basically just print your own Sonichu books. And I would recommend anyone who wants physical copies of Sonichu books to do that. Unless, you want one signed by Chris or something. But at the same time, I don't advise giving Chris money, so who knows. I don't know what you should do. I don't know what I would do. Good day, everyone. I would like to take this moment to talk a bit about 5PB. She is a really awesome singer and musician from game industry's Leanbox. A real kind siren. She has many more CDs and tracks available in C197. Okay, so this is probably like a Vocaloid or something. But the main point, the reason that I find this interesting is that Chris is once again like, yeah, this famous thing that exists in the real world has even more content available in my world. Whereas if that was true, which obviously it's not, Chris would be able to, post the lyrics to her song. If Chris could travel to C197, listen to her songs, copy them, bring them back to the real world, then he could show them off. But because he can't do that, it disproves the existence of the other dimension. But Chris will never accept that logic if you explain it to him like that. He'll just think up an excuse. So, who knows? Yeah, he's continuing on. More music than was made and released here in 1218. And only the small handful between both of her VAs on the Hyperdimension Neptunia games and anime, and whatever that means, relay her beats and tunes. 5PB really does not deserve to be kept pushed in the background. Fortunately, this will be resolved after the dimensional merge, and when her imported albums become available to all, I encourage a listen. Her actual voice is that like her English VA as portrayed, but she does also speak and sing in Japanese. So Chris is claiming that he's heard these songs, so he should be able to write them down, but of course he won't. Lots of love for 5PB, the Siren of Leanbox. Also, a most honorable mention of her personal input and accomplishments in some of the video games, including Psycho Pass, alongside her cousin and awesome techie genius, Mages. So, I don't advocate for messaging Chris. I personally don't do it. But if you are one of the people who has, like, some way of contacting Chris, I would, not like in his Twitter comments, like if you're one of the Kiwi Farms people who, like, talks to Chris, I would be very interested in his excuse for things like this. What is his excuse for not being able to write down the lyrics to songs that only exist in the other dimension, or write down the plots of movies that only exist in the other dimension? I would very much like to know how he would dodge that question. Okay, here we go. My Little Pony. Woo! Let's see. My Little Pony Rainbow Road Trip, all new special, Saturday, 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m. Oh, okay. These are actually old tweets. I think I've read these in a video before where he's basically saying that Princess Celestia told him that there would be 14 seasons of My Little Pony. So Chris is now saying, hey everyone, just a friendly reminder that in efforts to make the remaining non-believers at Hasbro believe that My Little Pony Generation 4 continues for 5 more seasons, and honor the request from us and the personal request of Princess Celestia and Luna themselves, that we are all boycotting the Rainbow Road Trip special, period. The date is next Saturday morning, June 29th, 2019. Stay away from Discovery Family that day, as well as any and all uploaded footage of Rainbow Road Trip everywhere online. Thank you. I don't know why this particular special has anything to do with the show ending, but whatever. Well, I'll be. I slept for hours last night. Longest sleep without waking up I've had in a long time. Thank you for recording it, Fitbit. How long did he sleep? So he slept for 5 plus 4, that's 9, plus 2 is 11, and then 3 plus 45 is another hour-ish, so that's 12 and 15 minutes. So he slept for 12 and a half hours, which, I mean, that's a lot, but I also sleep for that long when I don't have anything to do. But he never has anything to do. So, whatever. Okay, so Chris is gonna start posting pictures from what I call the Chris Chan Manifesto, which is an issue of Sonichu that deals with trying to canonically explain what happened with the idea guy. So, just to explain this for newer people or people who might not know, Chris was tricked by someone known as the idea guy into putting all this horrible stuff into Sonichu canon, like, concentration camps, and letting Nazis rule Quickville, and him having to impregnate Sonichu so that he could have a child and stuff like that. So, because Chris believes that this is all real, after he realized that Idea Guy was a troll, he had to think of an excuse. I hope you can't hear that. There's something outside my window. He had to think of an excuse to explain how this was all canon, but how it didn't paint him or Sonichu in a bad light. So he wrote what I call the Chris Chan Manifesto, which is basically just a lot of text explaining the history of the other dimension for, like, years at a time. Hopefully, when I get around to making videos specifically about Sonichu, which is taking longer than I thought because it is a pain to get through, I will explain this all then. So I'm just going to skip this now, because first of all, I can't read Chris's handwriting, and second of all, it would take forever. But you can read it yourself. All of this is on the Quickie. Also, the Quickie was down for about 3 weeks, but it is back up now, so you can go and read all that stuff. Not sure why it was down, but if it ever is down again, you can still view it on an archive. And that's what I did for a couple weeks. Here's another tweet where Chris is asking for $170 via PayPal to get all the comics, and he does that several more times this week. Okay, so, The Awakening of the CPU, also known as The Idea Guy Corruptions, this is the manifesto. So, Chris is saying that he will sell the manifesto by itself for a price of $5.75. This is basically his Bible. Chris says that he wants to give it out for free, but it costs money to print, and so that's why he settled on the $5.75 amount. Oh, if you find Chris at BronyCon, he'll autograph one of the books per customer. He's only going to do one per person because he wants to actually enjoy the convention. But that might be a way to get a free autograph from Chris so you don't have to pay him money. Hopefully he doesn't charge for it. Oh, he's retweeting donate directly for books. Asking for money again. Everyone, a lot of things are happening around here, and I am feeling the psychic brunt force of it, the chest tightening and feelings. But I know better that I have a lot to continue to live for. Say a prayer to and for me, please. Oh god, who's this? Lift your arms and give Christian your energy, lads. Oh, I hope... Yeah, it's just someone joking around. It's really hard to tell the joking around people from the White Knight sometimes. Yes, this does help too. Lift your arms, guys. Just give Chris a spirit bomb. Oh, see, Chris forgot that magi-chan said that the next time he contacted us, it would be after the dimensional merge, and here magi-chan is contacting us. Christine continues, tough and strong under her duress. Thank you all for your prayers. They are helping her and everyone. Please, keep praying to Christine and the other CPUs, as well as your choice deity of religion. And believe in all of us OCs as well. I just dropped a clothespin on the floor. Bonus fact that I just learned. Scarlet, the original CPU Blueheart. Scarlet's last name was Celestia, of course it was. Pronounced Celestia. Also, apparently, her Ballisicom is being relocated and rebuilt in Quickville near its Ballisicom. Unbelievable, but bearable. Scarlet Celestia's history and artifacts will be relocated in the rebuilt structure as it was before. Learn something new every day. Definitely not a day wasted. Definitely not a day wasted, despite having lots of rest. Back on drawing track. This was June 28th. Hey everyone, I most humbly... Oh, wait, no. Oh, God. Hey everyone, I most humbly apologize for the lack of content and book shipments all of this time. I have sincerely been preoccupied between my actual duties as CPU Blueheart over Quickville and Comma, and the funds I got from y'all ended up sincerely and directly going towards the bills, including the mortgage. Priorities and responsibilities held me up very much. After the funds came in quick and left quick, I was unable to order the books per month as promised. For now, I will withhold the Book of the Month perk, and when I am able to, I will order and ship out a full set of the completed books to everyone who had pledged more than $20 a month before the end of July 2019. Meanwhile, I am resuming work on Book 15, the expanded retelling of Sonichu and Rosechu's first days together. Move the story forward, Chris! It borrows from what Miss Tricky ended up writing in Rosechu's story. But I am also focusing on Sonichu's point of view throughout the book. So there is more than what is there, which I wholeheartedly approve, since it was very much spot on, with a few minor forgivable inaccuracies. And, in real time, for right freaking now, Sonichu 14 will end up being The Awakening of a CPU, Book 2. The real-time continuing and real-life personal chronicling of now and the dimensional merge, in progress and shall be completed, so this book may end up taking weeks to months to complete. Okay, so Sonichu 13 was the manifesto. Sonichu 14 is going to be the manifesto part 2. And what was to be Sonichu 14, featuring Graduan's backstory and return, is delayed to book 16, but shall be drawn written as soon as possible after completing 15 and possibly 14. Given the variables and anything is possible, you may as well throw logic out the window, events and moments. Yes, Chris, please throw logic out the window. In this free time, I am focusing on Book 15, as fated and destined at the time, as well as writing Book 14, one page and day at a time. Again, I humbly and sincerely apologize. Thank you all for your continued patience and understanding, and pray all of you will continue to and be kind in all of this. When duty calls, my CPU and leadership duties to my citizens, all Pokemon and so forth, very well included, take higher priority over drawing and coloring. Lots of love for each and every one of y'all. You are not ever forgotten in my long list of priorities and responsibilities. Be safe and well. Mrs. Christine Weston Chandler, Sonichu CPU Blueheart. And this is the cover for number 14. I'm just curious. Oh, Chris has 14 patrons. And he gets $225 a month from Patreon. That's depressing. Although only having, well, having 14 people, that's not that bad. The depressing part is that 14 people are giving him $225. Chris posted Sonichu 15, page 11 on Patreon. Chris posted Sonichu, page 15, page 12, issue 50, whatever. keeps posting, meaning that Chris actually was working on the comic, which is a good thing. I just added dollar-level perk-free tiers from $1 to $9. So for those who just want to support me monthly, here you go. Thank you all. I'm working on the Pokedex page for Rosie to Vamprosa, and updating Sonichu's page a bit as well. Now that I know their official Pokedex numbers go from numbers 978 to 983, I'll share those in a while. Here's the problem. Gen 8 is going to come out this November, and almost certainly it's going to have real Pokemon go past number 983. So I wonder how Chris is going to respond to that. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. It'll only be a couple months till then. I just learned the payment system for Pokemon trainers. So listen up. The payment system. What's that mean? So trainers get paid for battling, win or lose. No. Trainers get paid for winning. If they lose, they have to pay the other person. This is done through the trainers' Pokedexes, which link to the Pokemon they capture, acquire, and train, as well as their Pokédollar unit bank accounts. I don't understand. The Pokedex records the battle and what happens with each Pokemon in those. After the battle is over, the Pokedexes between both trainers link, and the winner gets paid in transferred units from the loser's account. Here we go. These units are also earned from other activities, chores, and jobs, so no trainer is without funds. Okay, so this is how being a Pokemon trainer works in the other dimension. That makes sense. As for their trained Pokemon that can use attacks like Payday, that is actual physical money, which can be easily converted to the units if deposited. The exchange rate is 1-to-1, regardless of the present country or planet the trainer happens to be on at the time. What? In this sense, you may consider 1 American dollar literally equaling 1 Japanese yen. As units are the neutral, digital, and generally acceptable currency. This blew me away as well, but the more we know, star. That doesn't make any sense. So in Pokemon games, they use something called Pokédollars. But 1 Pokédollar equals 1 Japanese yen. So if you're from Japan, then, it makes sense that a lemonade costs 200 Pokédollars, because that's how many yen it would cost in the real world, whereas in America, it's kind of weird. The thing is that 1 yen is usually around 1 American penny. So if Chris is saying that you get paid based on where you are in these units, then that means that Americans are making 100 times more money than... No, it means... It means one of the countries is making 100 times more money than the other country for doing the exact same thing. And that would destroy the world economy. So that was not thought out well. Then again, I don't expect Chris to understand any of the stuff he's talking about. Chris says that while discoveries of Sonichus and Rosechu's have occluded before, I think it means occurred. Occluded? No trainer was ever able to catch a fully study one, and that is why there was no pre-published record of either before January 24th, 2003, my birthday after the Station Square incident. So he's saying that Sonichu's existed before the first issue of Sonichu. Okay. What have I been telling you all and everyone all this time? C-197. All of our OCs that are able to exist in the matching timeline and situations. Right there. And our dimensions will soon be completely merged. Another book 15 page later today. Be safe and well at NBC 29. Okay! This is literally just his local NBC station. Scientists are searching for a parallel universe. It could be sitting right in front of us. Yeah, that's not what that means, Chris. Hey everyone, I am on a mission that I can only complete consciously in my dreams. I need help getting back to being a deep sleeping lucid dreamer. My ability has been disabled the past week. Only sincere direct message responses, and even better from those who are famed lucid dreamers themselves, or even the Lucid Society directly. Any helpful responses and thoughts would be most appreciated. Thank you. These are pages from my book 14, still in the in time and in event making, and I'm not going to read them. Hey everyone, it's wisdom moment time. Oh boy, can't wait. Life is more like an MMO game. No, MMO games are like life, Chris. That's the point. You live your life single-player platformer for most of your life. What? But tough as you eventually become, you'll still not be good enough for a bunch of tasks, quests, and legendary go raids. So it remains ever so imperative to reach out and have as many as at least one good friend or a bestie BFF to help you when you fall flat and unable to get up. So warm yourself up, single player, because you'll having to go MMO, whether you like it or not. In what situations is life like a single player platformer? That is a good question. Oh, here we go. Chris has a rock. Well, I guess the audio is not working, but Chris says, I go from plastic to stones. This amethyst has weight. Hashtag psychic powers. Of course Chris believes in it. I bet Chris believes in the horoscope, although I've never seen him post about it, or at least I don't remember. Awesomeness and much better than the Mini. Oh, this is about the new... I guess someone's making a Commodore 64 retro console. Probably just a remake of the hardware that you can put the original... whatever it took into it. Now, if only I could hook up my floppy disk drive and cassette tape drive to the updated console as well. Please, at least add the serial ports. I still have all of my discs. Whatever. I had... Oh, go away. Go away. I had to talk with the Vert to get the details, but it is true. We console patron units are more than just figureheads in our links with our respective consoles. And this will be very impressive for the Hyperdimension Neptunia wiki page to note as well. Oh yeah, Chris, tell the people who run the wiki the true lore behind the video game because you have psychic powers. Firstly and mainly, each CPU has each and every console in their line stored and saved in their subconscious, hardware and software tech specs and all, down to the last microchip and wire. The CPU is always the very first of anyone to get the specs. And it is the duty for them to make it so with a prototype, at least, in C197, in time with, or before relaying the data, psychically, with the team developers and tech savvies of 1218 to make the consoles. So, here. So he's saying that in the other dimension, they think up the consoles, and then they psychically tell people in our dimension how to make them, and that's where consoles come from. Mistakes are made and overlooked. True. Red Ring of Death. Ugh. Chris, why do you care about the Red Ring of Death on the Hex box? That is only the miscomprehension of the console maker and developer from what was sent to them from their above CPU. After the console is finally built to full specs as planned and prophesized, the CPU is automatically called in indirect prayer and the blessing from them. A piece of their soul and being, if you will, is interdimensionally sent to the completed console and accessory, big and small, to bless it for many, many years of functionality and computing, gaming and or work experience. And if need be, the CPU steps in, personally, and repairs a mistreated console, destined for better things, on the spot, either by placing their hand on the console and magically healing and upgrading it, if need be, inside and out. It is a great and soulful task. We work together, especially for the good of our peoples, and our respective nations and worlds, and our console products. In my subconscious, although not fully conscious yet, I, too, have the tech specs of the Commodore 64 Retro. It does have the potential to be compatible with an old-fashioned serial port or bus. It is up to the developer and tech-savvy to install it, fully and successfully, and make a distributed feature in the final console product. Okay. I sense and see it. I know the people making the console do too, and I, and the other older Commodore console owners, need it as well. Lots of love, your CPU Blueheart, Christine Weston Chandler Sanju. I identify as an Ouya goddess. Man, I really wonder if the people who made that game, the Hyperdimension Neptunia, ever thought that this would happen. Like, this is crazy levels of devotion to fiction. Also, a Commodore 64... this is for the remake. Chris just wants the thing to be able to play the real discs, which I guess it can't. Discs, I mean tapes. Chris is still posting pages from Sonichu, which is nice. Happy birthday, America, and everyone born on July 4th, and a very merry unbirthday to everyone else. Okay, that's just Alice in Wonderland, because Chris only watches cartoons. Hey everyone, I heard of the 7.1 earthquake that happened today in California. I offer and send my prayers to all innocent and good people and individuals there. Also, remember the earthquake routine as outlined in the earthquake drills. Oh, God, I cannot wait for him to say this is a sign of the dimensional merge. He's gonna totally say that. Completed door frames are also well and good duck into and brace yourself with, if available. Otherwise, simply duck under a table or chair if possible. If outside, the solution is simple as duck as well. But mainly, you want to look for the closest ditch and take cover there. Is that true? Be safe, everyone who's affected by earthquakes at this time and future onwards. Huh. He didn't take credit for it. He did that with all the other natural disasters. I'm not going to watch that. Okay, here's another rant about the dimensional merge, because we needed more of these this month. Keep calm, everyone. It is not the end of the world. There shall be a tomorrow, and many, many tomorrows for centuries to come after that. Keep the faith in us, OCs. And a link to Michael Jackson's Keep the Faith. Also, to borrow from my tweet set from months ago once again, when I talked about one individual having to die, probably Donald Trump, their soul and memories become merged with the body, soul and memories of their self counterpart. Oh no, he means one of the two OC, like you and your OC in the other dimension, one of you dies. Although he did say Trump would die, so. It would be total reincarnation if you die, or a massive info dump into you if you live. Either way, you will live to see the following day. You can even ask the real Stan Lee and Michael Jackson post-merge, as they've merged with their self-counterparts there after leaving. 1218 here. And if you need an idea of what reincarnation will be like, this Watch Mojo list can help you see from others' perspectives, though you may not be likely to become superpowered afterwards. Top 10 anime characters were born as powerful beings. Okay. Watch Mojo lists are now sources for religious texts. Please do not fear nor fret, and please remain calm. Everything has been in effect and progress. Everything is happening. We shall survive this. Keep the faith. Party time. Yeah, look at Chris's cluttered room, but he's got some Pikachus and a Dratini. Hey everyone, it's official. I will be attending BronyCon this year. Of course you will. But funds have been easily slipping... What? How can he say he's attending BronyCon if he doesn't already have the funds? Funds have been easily slipping out heavily thanks to the bills and things. Yes, things that you're supposed to spend before you buy toys, Chris. So I need some help. Please, pledge/donate any dollar amount you can. Instant payment processed. Oh, look, it's a colored panel of Sonichu. I haven't seen one of those in ages. I'm continuing the process of my page coloring, so I'm continuing to work hard on my part here, in that, on top of all the other things between all dimensions. Show of good faith, here's a recently colored page. So yes, please help me get to BronyCon. Thank you. I'm not going to read it. P.S. Please do not hate, be kind and compassionate. Thank you. And, if you must know why, room accommodations. My main plan with two friends who had reserved a room for us three and had their passes, they fell off the communications map on me, and I am in a major bind. Please. Hashtag help Chris Chan Sonichu get to BronyCon. I mean, people going to BronyCon probably want him there, because that would just be part of the experience. But you still shouldn't give him money. I will begin reading the fanfic later, after I finish coloring my book 15 pages so far. Everyone, if y'all will buy my book set at $170 a piece, and I sell 10 before the end of tomorrow the 11th, I will definitely be able to afford the accommodations in Maryland for positive. Oh god, BronyCon's in Maryland? Chris is going to be close-ish to me? That's unfortunate. Although I'm actually going to be close to Chris in a couple days after this video goes up. I'm going to be in Virginia. I'm going to be less than an hour away from Chris's house. And that's scary. Oh, magi-chan posted again. Here we go. I also have an update for all of you. The merge shall be completed sooner than you think. That's what you said in January, and it's July. Remember the guidelines Chris had written out months ago for all of you. Also, please be sure to pray to her, the other CPUs, and your favorite deities of religious choice. I also wish to express discontent to the trolls who are bugging Christine with their claims to be knowledgeable of the merge. Nobody knows better than her and everyone else directly and personally involved with it. I will have you all know that Christine has met Emmanuel and Jesus personally and talked with them, and all of this in spiritual projection, telepathic, and face-to-face communications. Chris also has been improving in her own powers as well with better practice. She has shown this in moving her flash drive, as well as her chunk of amethyst stone. Chris used the Force to move a flash drive? I guess I missed that. Can any of you trolls move stone with your mind and aura? No, give us proof, Chris. Do not hate on that which you do not understand. We have warned you of the events as best as we were able to, within the limits of this dimension 1218 and permitted by fate and destiny. What you all should do, instead, is open your hearts, minds, and souls for the effects of the merge in progress, as well as any and all OCs and deities from between both 1218 and C197. Keep the faith in everything working out very well in all of us individual OCs and deities. You all shall be able to see everyone and everything in the days and moments, becoming more tangible to you, and you all become more tangible to us as well. Keep heart, keep faith, keep wit, be safe and well. If she is a goddess with power, why is she looking up these fake videos on YouTube? What? Oh, I guess this person looked at Chris's playlist. Loop this video. Learn telekinesis fast. Level 3. What are these other videos? Huh. So Chris is looking up how to do stuff on YouTube? I thought he got all his powers from Magic God. That's interesting. Go ahead and meme this up if you will, but I do not hate Xbox, and I felt like changing the page's content for the better. Huh. Chris really is changing. Okay, Sonic executive producer Tim Miller says fans will be pleased with the character's redesign. Chris says, seeing this in my notifications, I had a vision. They restored his traditional eyes. His arms are tan. His spines are merged back into one pair on his back, with a hint of the other 4 remaining on top and bottom. And he may still be wearing the movie sneakers. Okay, so Chris has foreseen this. So we'll be able to cross-reference this with the movie trailer when it comes out and we see the redesign. And then we'll know if Chris's visions mean anything at all. Good news, everyone. I have just received a very kind and generous donation from a genuine fan. I have just booked my room for the weekend for BronyCon. Oh god. I look forward to seeing as many of y'all, and those whose work I am a fan of as well, there next month. So I guess Chris is officially going to BronyCon. Hooray! That's important. Whoever this guy is, too sexy for quick. This has to be a troll. Although, I've never heard, maybe he's a YouTuber or something, I've never heard of him. I'm raising money for eBay for Chris shipping fund. Click to donate. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Other than that, I will be cosplaying the whole weekend at BronyCon, and the below image is the only clue I will give you, and as Suicune is the wrong answer. So now comment with your guesses. Wrong answers only. Go. That's not what wrong answers only means, Chris. Usually people post a picture of something obvious and will say wrong answers only, and it's funny. But we have no idea what you could possibly be talking about. The redraw of a most iconic moment at its finest. This actually isn't that bad, which makes me almost certain that it is traced. This is the original. So this is the original that Chris drew, and this is the remake. So the moon is the same. The moon is still just as bad, but I guarantee you this is traced. And that is it for Chris's Twitter updates. I began this video with a little meme about Chris's YouTube updates, and I read his Patreon. So that should be everything. I know I don't want this to just be reading out Chris's tweets, the YouTube series, but this is really his main method of communication. I still want to cover everything he's been doing, but this is most of what he's been doing. So minus those Sonichu comics that I will be covering later in a future video, hopefully, this has been everything in the last month. He's still crazy. He's still talking about the dimensional merge, and it's still coming any day now, guys. You just gotta keep the faith. So this is the end of the video, but I just wanted to say that what you're listening to right now is a brand new microphone. Hopefully it's better, and hopefully it hasn't messed up during the course of this recording. And I just hit it, which probably sounded fantastic for you guys. I also got a new job recently, so videos might be coming out less. They actually might be coming out more. I'm not sure yet, but that's why this video is so late. I'm also not going to be around next week at all because I'm going to be in Virginia, like I said earlier. So I want to get back to covering Chris once a week, but it probably won't be next week. So 2 weeks from now will hopefully be another video, and from then on, I want to cover Chris once a week. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's what I want to happen. Still working on my 10K subscriber special video thing, and I have more Absurds videos coming up. I have a lot of stuff that I want to do. It's just that stuff takes time. Like, it's actually crazy the amount of hours it takes to just put this video together. But I know that a lot of you understand that, and it's really cool that people are interested in this content, and that I get to do it because I'm interested in it. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can follow me on Twitter at GiBi_Devin. I actually don't get a lot of notifications on there for some reason when people at me. People have complained, like, hey, I've messaged you a couple times, you don't answer. I don't know why I'm not getting them. So if you really want to talk to me one-on-one, you should join my Discord, which hopefully I will have linked below, which I am now on quite often. So you can join me there, you can talk to me there, and we can talk about Chris and a whole bunch of other stuff. So thank you for watching. Oh, I also have a Patreon, but I don't like mentioning that. And I'll see you soon.